Contextual assimilation. Examples. Contextual assimilation involves changes in the pronunciation of words when they are juxtaposed in sentences or in the formation of compound words. Let's take the pronunciation of is, for instance. The complete pronunciation, the full pronunciation is is. But that pronunciation may change depending on the context. This verb may be reduced to the voiceless alveolar fricative sound when it's preceded by breathed consonants, except these voiceless fricatives. So, it is ready may be pronounced it's ready when the verb to be is contracted. It's ready. That's all. What's the time may take the same pronunciation of the word is. So, these are cases of progressive assimilation. Why? Because the assimilated sound is influenced by the previous one, by the one that precedes it. Let's see some more examples. In these cases, the verb to be may be reduced to a voiced alveolar fricative sound. Why? When it's preceded by voiced consonants, except these voiced fricative sounds. So, who's there? Dinner's ready. And when's he coming? May take the same pronunciation of the verb to be. Why is it necessary to use the voiced alveolar fricative here? Because all the sounds which precede it are voiced. Has is treated similarly. It may have a strong pronunciation, has, and other possible weak forms. Alright, so the choice of sound to pronounce this word will depend on the preceding sound. Who's been here? Who's been here? John's finished. John's finished. Jack's been here. What's he done? What's he done? So we can see how we may pronounce the very same word differently. In these cases, in the first two examples, we use a voiced alveolar fricative sound because the preceding sounds are voiced. In the last two examples, the same word is pronounced with a voiceless alveolar fricative sound because the preceding sounds are voiceless. These two sounds may be replaced by palato-alveolar fricatives. When a palatal semivowel follows. Alright? Okay, so this year may be pronounced this year. Tells you may be pronounced tells you. Mrs. Young may be pronounced Mrs. Young. Okay. What happens to the pronunciation of this verb, of the verb use, when followed by the preposition to or by the infinitive to? Its pronunciation may change. This structure may have different meanings. It may refer to this meaning, being accustomed to doing something or being accustomed to something. When we pronounce the word used on its own, we can see that it finishes with voiced sounds. But when this word is juxtaposed with a following a Fortis plosive, the pronunciation of these voiced sounds may change into voiceless ones. So, instead of saying he's used to eat, we can say he's used to it. We can see how the voiced alveolar sounds changed into voiceless alveolar ones. Similarly, the structure we use to talk about habit in the past is pronounced in a similar way. He used to live in London may be pronounced he's used to live in London. Let me show you an example of this process in a video, in a song. In this extract of the song by Goethe, we can hear the assimilated form he used when talking about habitual action in the past. So, it's important to know that foreign learners are not recommended to make any of these assimilation types, but we do have to recognize them. Alright? It's important for us to identify them. Now let's see some variations in the vocal fold activity of some words. Let's see changes from voiced to voiceless. Let's take the word with. With. The word with finishes with a voiced dental fricative sound, which may change into a voiceless one when followed by a voiceless dental fricative. So instead of saying with thanks, we can say with thanks. And we can have one articulation for both consonants. Similarly, these may be pronounced these socks in this phrase. The voiced alveolar fricative sound changes into a voiceless one under the influence of the following Fortis alveolar fricative. In this case, we see how a linis labiodental fricative sound changes into a Fortis one under the influence of the following vela plosive used in the word course. So instead of saying of course, this phrase may be pronounced of course. Have to may be pronounced have to. Guj may be pronounced Guj street because of the influence of the following Fortis fricative sound. There are changes in the articulation of alveolar sounds which may change to bilabial when followed by bilabial sounds. So, for example, on, which is alveolar, may be pronounced when a bilabial plosive follows it. On purpose. Don't may be pronounced don't be when followed by a bilabial plosive. The same happens with good. the alveolar plosive in good may change into a bilabial one due to the following bilabial plosive. Alright? So, bilabial consonants may change the articulation of alveolar ones. So, templayers may be pronounced templayers instead. So, let's see more examples. You may transcribe the examples and then check by pausing the video. That pen may be pronounced that pen. That boy, and so on. Good players may change into goob players. Goob players. Of course, all these changes happen very quickly, and native speakers are unaware of them. Let's see some examples in which alveolar sounds change into velar ones when followed by velar consonants. So, in may be pronounced in case and have a velar articulation when followed by a velar plosive. Alright? The same happens with other alveolar sounds. They change into velar ones because of the following velar consonant. Look at these ones. 10 cups. 10 girls. So, all these are examples of contextual assimilations. Don't be late. In this example, we can drop the plosive in the middle as well. Don't be late. He won't come. We can drop the plosive in the middle as well. Okay. Instead of saying that cup with the alveolar plosive, we may use a velar plosive instead and have just one articulation for both velar plosives. Good concert suffers a similar change or undergoes a similar change. The alveolar one changes into a velar sound under the influence of the following velar plosive. All these changes are the result of economy of effort. They tend to simplify the pronunciation of words which are juxtaposed in sentences. Let's see some changes from an alveolar articulation to a palatal alveolar one. So, has may be pronounced hajikam. This shape. 6 years. And so on. Right? These changes happen when alveolar fricative sounds are followed by palatal alveolar fricatives or by the palatal semivowel. It's important to remember that voiceless sounds or fortis ones change into fortis sounds as well, and voiced sounds may change into voiced sounds. Okay. All these changes happen when words are juxtaposed, when words are put together. They are called contextual or juxtapositional assimilations. They may happen inside words as well. These are cases of progressive assimilation. Alright.